That is the latest from 21 Pilots. Overcompensate here on your Monday edition of the Morning Overload. Before that, we had Curtis Hoppy featuring Miles Minnick. It's called Vine, and we kicked off your 8 o'clock hour with a classic, throwing it way back, I think like 2002, maybe even sooner than that. Savior from Skillet. Never go wrong with old Skillet stuff. It is 8:13 on a Monday. John Walden here with you until 10 a.m. as we continue to bring you the best in rock, hip-hop, and alternative, praising the King of Kings nonstop, but also taking your song requests, your prayer requests, your shout-outs, your praise reports, all that stuff. We love to hear from you and just to be a family and to be there for you. So you let us know any time of day. Once again, 805 to text us or email directly, prayers@myrevradio.com. This hour dedicated to the Lakeshore Foundation. First time in the studio for the Lakeshore Foundation. Sav is over here. She's ready. She's prepared. I can see it on her face. She's got a smile. Smiles always equal positive results. But my longtime friend, Mr. Terry Scrimshire, in the house with Lakeshore now. Yep. Exciting new opportunity that God kind of opened the door for. And I know that you've been, telling me about it, ready to get in here to talk about everything happening through Lakeshore. And as I was going back through the website, essentially Lakeshore Foundation's been around since, I believe, 84. But the idea was birthed way back in 1926. So I thought that was really cool. Again, hey, I told you, I read the website. I was looking at it. I thought it was neat, Terry. I was learning all the things about Lakeshore. But kind of share a little bit, about who you guys are, what you do, and really, the big thing that our listeners need to know about getting involved and plugged in and helping with the Lakeshore Foundation.
Well, good morning. It's good to be here.
Yes.
Lakeshore Foundation does so many different things. As you mentioned, they started in 1926, just treating people with tuberculosis, and expanded from there, became a hospital in the 1970s, and then started the foundation to work into adaptive sports at that point, and that's kind of what we focus on today, and still run the hospital as well.
So there's a lot going on.
A lot
going on with Lakeshore, and the Paralympics are coming up. Big part of that, I know that's going on here, like a month or two, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So kind of share a little bit about how Lakeshore is plugged into that and everything that is just, you're scrolling through. I see you with your
notes. Notes here.
I'm so proud of you, Terry. You got notes.
You've read up on it. You should tell me.
Nope. This is your time. I talk too much.
Oh, man. Lakeshore actually has, and one of its many things that it does is a Olympic and Paralympic training facility, and is the official sanctioning body for two Paralympic sports.
Yeah, we do United States wheelchair rugby and bocce.
That is really cool.
So they'll come in for training camps every few months, and we'll host them. They'll get to play on the field house, on the courts, and they get to stay in our dorms that we have on campus.
That's incredible. Now, how long have you been with Lakeshore? I know that it's been longer than Terry.
I have been with Lakeshore coming up on a year. I started in August of 2023.
Very cool. And so you came in as the videographer, so you get to highlight all the incredible things that are going on through your work and being able to see these stories and, meeting athletes for the first time coming in and, they may be a little probably held back and reserved, and then watching them grow and develop and all that. What does it mean to you to be able to kind of document all this stuff and be a part of it?
Well, it's my job to capture the essence of Lakeshore through video content and getting to meet athletes and making anybody, whether it's athlete or member or staff member, making them comfortable on camera and being able to tell their story through the Lakeshore Foundation. It's one of my favorite things about the job. That
is so awesome. And for you, now that you've been plugged in, coming up on a year now, what have you seen? What have you learned? What's really just given you so much more joy and satisfaction? You knew a little bit before you came in, but now that you've been there, what all have you seen that just blows your mind with Lakeshore?
I've learned so much about Lakeshore being here and just the entire community. Lakeshore it's a nonprofit rehabilitation center which offers recreation, fitness, aquatics, and educational programs to members. And most of our members have physical disabilities or disabling conditions. And so seeing all the different backgrounds from people, all the different walks of life that we see in our facilities, and being able to interact with everyone on a daily basis and just get to completely immerse yourself with the environment.
That's awesome. So if you've ever been involved, it's something I've always loved to do. Probably, I think, for like, I don't know, the last 15 or 20 years. I even helped with the Special Olympics in high school. I love that so much. But if you've ever been involved with a Miracle League, think of that on steroids, because there's so many more than just baseball. So many different sports than just baseball happening when you get plugged in with helping and being a part of the Lakeshore Foundation and seeing everything that they have going on. Now, Terry, are there ways for people to plug in and be involved and volunteer and things like that through Lakeshore?
There are.
Yeah, there are. There are. I'm looking over to make sure.
I know. I'm making sure. I'm like, well, either one of. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, something that we have a lot of youth camps. We just finished up with JAWS camp and inclusion camp, and I think kids will come in, and our recreational staff will put on different events for them throughout the week, and we have a lot of volunteers come in for that. We also host a lot of tournaments. I recently built up a new streaming system for our tournaments, which you can see over on the YouTube channel.
That's awesome.
And wheelchair rugby teams from all over the state will come in and do a huge tournament. And that's one area that we have a lot of volunteers for.
That's incredible. Wheelchair. I've got to see it. Wheelchair rugby. I mean, I bet when you watch it, how aggressive, how much fun.
It's intense.
Is it?
It is super intense.
Yes. Oh, I've got to see this, man.
Two of the players are actually going to the two paras.
Oh, really?
From Birmingham, two of the players on the team, and it's very aggressive. It's fun to watch, but also they've won several national championships there at Lakeshore.
Oh, that's really cool too. Okay. Well, awesome. Well, hey, look, they're in here all hour long. If you have any questions about Lakeshore Foundation and what they do, the website lakeshore.org. I believe that's correct. Lakeshore.org, right? Yes. Okay. I'm going back. I didn't have it right in front. I had to click. So lakeshore.org. Learn more. There's so many different things that they do and that you can get involved with. But we've got Sav, we've got Terry hanging out all hour long. Any questions or anything like that, just text in 805 to text us. That's 805-283-9887. It's the Morning Overload, Revocation Radio. That is Behold the Beloved with Toxic Lullabies on Revocation Radio. Before that, we had Send That from One Day featuring Lecrae, and we kicked off that big block of tunes with Ignescent and their latest. It's called Goodbye. It's 8:33 in the a.m. John Walden here with you until 10 a.m. Text in with any questions you got for our guest or song requests, prayer requests, and all that. 805 to text us. That's 805-283-9887. And speaking of text, coming into the text line, I'll say it again because I think I just blew her mind. You okay over there?
What?
She's got her head turned.
Oh, I'm looking for the lizard.
Oh, the lizard's gone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So look, I'm very ADD. Look, you can't do this to me, Sav. I am so ADHD.
Look, there was a lizard in the studio.
There was.
There could be another one.
Terry caught sight of a lizard out the corner of his eye, and so I went over there and caught it. But I was like, no, you'll die in here, man. So I love animals. Dude, I love it. So I caught it, put it outside. I'm like, how did you even see that thing?
It's kind of like the hey squirrel thing, but
yes,
lizard.
Hey lizard, yeah. And so Sav's looking for another one just to see if he had any buddies or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not raising them here, if that's what you're wondering.
Okay.
That's not what's happening.
That's good.
It is
sells
possible,
mail
right?
order lizards after the show.
Well, considering that she was doing long range shooting this weekend, I feel like Sav is not the kind of person that's scared of a lizard, right?
No. I was gonna talk to it a little bit, see how it's doing.
Wait, but you should have told me before I took that one outside. I would just let you hold it and keep it.
Put him on the mic. Get him on the interview.
You never know. He might could spit some serious rhymes. It could happen.
You never know.
You never know. Look, it's hard to have two dry sense of humors at one time. I like it, and I can get on board with it, but it's pretty daggum funny. All right, so back to the text line, though. Professor Jay Cofield down at Montevallo says, I'm tuning in, and that sounds like a former student. Tell her I said hey, and that I'm proud of her. So
hi, Dr. Cofield.
That's so good. I call him Dr. J, even though he don't have a jump shot, but still, it's fun. Call him Dr. J. Nonetheless, so I thought that was pretty cool. So were you there when I came and spoke like 2 or 3 years ago? I did like a small forum with a couple of other people in the industry. I have no idea.
I graduated in 2021.
Jay, what year was it that I came to? It might have been 22. I don't know. Every year has run together since like 2015. I have no idea on anything at this point. But either way. All right. So shout out to Montevallo, Professor Cofield, Dr. J, if you will. We're talking about Lakeshore Foundation. Oh, now he's texting in, telling me more, I'm sure. He's laughing because he has no idea, and neither do I. So, Andy says Geico's going to be calling for copyright issues if y'all put that lizard on the microphone. But will he have a British accent? I mean, we are in Alabama. I'd love to hear it. That would be fantastic. All right, man, y'all got to quit with the distractions. It's too easy. It's way too easy. So, shout out to Lakeshore. They're going to be like, what's the point of going on that radio station if you guys aren't going to talk about what we got going on? We've got to talk about the celebration of champions that you guys have coming up here very, very shortly, and just all the cool stuff, because there are 2 athletes out of Birmingham going to Paris.
It's amazing. Yes.
All right, celebration. What all happens with the celebration of champions, and kind of what's the plan and the layout? They're both looking at each other like, well, you going to take it or you going to take it?
Yeah, I'll take it. So July 26th, come out to the Lakeshore Foundation. It's going to be a fun evening celebrating our athletes and celebrating Paralympians. We've got activities for children. We're going to have French food, French wine, because obviously the Paralympics are in French.
They're in French. They are in Paris,
They
France.
are in Paris, France this year. And so it's going to be a whole French themed, and all the money that we raise is going to be used to support adapted athletes, including the children and adults. And there's also going to be a silent auction, which includes trips and a classic Oldsmobile from 1962.
Right.
Oh, wow.
It's parked out in front of the office now. If anybody wants to ride by and take a look, and you can put in your bids.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make a video for it. I got some drone shots of it. Going to put together a little hype video, try to help with auctioning it off.
That'll be really cool. So if you're looking for that, is it a convertible? I mean, what kind of Oldsmobile is it? Like, do y'all know?
It's a white one.
It's a white. Oh, Terry, the gearhead that he is over there. Loving those vehicles.
It's before my time, if you can imagine.
It is. That's true. That's a very good point.
But it's pretty cool. It's nice, fixed up and retouched. It's been in car shows before. It's got the little stamp in there for it travels to car shows, not by itself, but it's really nice. It's white. I don't remember what color the interior is, but people are using that to raise money for Lakeshore.
That's a really cool thing. So if you go to lakeshore.org, you can get all the details about Lakeshore Foundation and all that they do for athletes of all walks of life, and what's going on with that. And again, having 2 athletes going to Paris, and that's for the Paralympics. Yes. Now, what sports are they competing in?
They do USA wheelchair rugby.
The wheelchair rugby. So again, is that something that you ever would have thought that you would be a videographer for?
Yeah,
And
I like
totally,
it.
Yeah. Is that probably the most intense thing that you've ever filmed?
Well, I did film the World Games.
Okay.
With ESPN. And so filming jiu-jitsu and like softball, water polo, and a couple other sports. But, wheelchair rugby is the most intense because those guys out there, they will smash into each other and fall over and just go super hard on the court. And it's so loud.
I can imagine. It is so loud.
So loud.
The wheelchairs banging into each other, and the guys, yeah.
Yeah, and then we got the 2 athletes from Birmingham, Zion Reddington and Clayton Brackett, and they will both be going with the team to Paris. And at the Celebration of Champions, we are going to have our keynote speaker, Joe Delagrave, who is the head coach for the wheelchair rugby team. So definitely mark your calendars for July 26th at Lakeshore Foundation in Homewood, Birmingham.
So you definitely want to be a part of that coming out. And again, all of the programs that Lakeshore has for adaptive sports, that's one of them I never would have thought. Like, wheelchair rugby, like wheelchair basketball, you've seen that for years. I know that's been a big part of Lakeshore as well, but I'm blown away that there is wheelchair rugby, and I freaking love it. That sounds amazing. Are there some other sports that you guys have kind of discovered working with Lakeshore that you're like, I didn't know that would ever work?
Yeah, we have. We are actually also the national governing body for Bocce United States, which is the Paralympic level bocce team, and it is the adapted version of bocce ball.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That is really cool. So there's a lot going on at Lakeshore, man.
Yeah.
So again, the Celebration of Champions is the big one, and a big push for July the 26th. Want you to come out and help raise funds for the Lakeshore Foundation and everything that they have going on, and also some news about new things, new performance center coming up. We'll talk about that here in a few moments as well. But if you have any questions, once again, we've got Terry, we've got Sav from Lakeshore Foundation in the studio, hanging out and learning so much about their incredible organization, and also making sure that lizards don't jump on the microphone. So you just never know what's going to happen. More to come. It's the Morning Overload, Revocation Radio. Revocation Radio with the classic from POD. It is Boom here on your Monday edition of the Morning Overload. Before that, the new one from Marty, In My Room. And we kicked off that block of tunes with Okay from Mr. Matthew Mole. It is 8:52 on the show. Final few moments here with our friends from Lakeshore Foundation. We've got Sav, we've got Terry, and great things are going on. Do not forget about the Celebration of Champions coming up July the 26th. To support the Lakeshore Foundation and all the cool stuff that they're doing. 2 athletes are heading to Paris from right here in Birmingham. A couple of young guys, right? One you said was 17.
Yeah.
And then the other one, how old do you have to be to qualify? Is it 17? I guess that's the youngest you can be, right? I don't even know. Look, they're both looking at each other.
nodding.
Yes. I would feel like maybe 17.
Nodding on the radio.
He might be the youngest guy to play in the Paralympics like that. So I don't know. Who knows? But wheelchair rugby, an intense, incredible sport, and just really cool things happening at Lakeshore. And that's kind of been what they do. They're at the forefront of adaptive sports, learning how to take, the everyday sport and make it available for everybody. All walks of life, disabilities, and things of that nature. So lakeshore.org is the website for the Lakeshore Foundation and all that they are doing. But they have a new thing coming up that they're really excited about, the Sports Science Performance Center, and kind of, whoever wants to take that one and share a little bit about what they're going to be doing and what that means.
Yeah, so the Sports Science and Performance Center is Lakeshore's newest endeavor, and it aims to create a greater disability equity in sports performance and advance sports science research overall. And so we will have a lot of athletes in to get tested and training exercises, and they'll come in, they'll get a DEXA scan, they'll do the VO2 max test, they'll do balance, strength and conditioning, and a lot of different tests that are geared toward their sport. So we've had like the USA, different Paralympic level teams in, and we have different individuals getting tested, and our experts will take that information and help them create a better training plan to advance in their sport. And this is for disabled and non-disabled athletes. Anybody could come in and get testing done from the Sports Science and Performance Center.
That is really cool. So it's very, very specific. So, for example, I'm a big baseball guy, so I'm thinking they're going to have a lot of exercises specifically for your core, specifically for your shoulders, and for good balance and things like that. So if you really want to get down to it, again, you think of the Oakland Athletics, Moneyball, when that came out, they found a strategic way to spend the money properly to build the best team. Well, this is taking the individual exercises of specifically what you're working and making you better overall. And it may not even be your specific sport related stuff. It's the strengthening of what you're using most in that sport. So if you really want to get down to the bare bones, and again, the sports science, if you ever enjoyed that kind of stuff on ESPN, and that's really along the lines of what they're going to be doing. For you, Terry, what's going to be your big focus? What sport are you really going to try to work on once the center begins and you get tested?
I don't know, man. I still have some eligibility left. If there's any coaches out there,
I'm wondering, bowling. If there's anything that's really, no pun intended, up your alley, that it was already coming out, and I just went ahead and threw I'm not doing it.
Just throw it on out there.
Yeah,
man.
might as well. But what do you like to? Have you played pickleball yet? Like, I still haven't done that.
Oh, man.
God, Sav just lit up.
Man.
Whoa, I need to get in on it. I have not had time. I have 3 children.
Yo,
I think they play
played
once every
pickleball.
week, right?
Sorry?
Don't they play there in the field house like once a week?
Yeah. If you become a member of Lakeshore, because our membership is open, just come through, go to the website, become a member. We actually offer over 90 programs.
Whoa.
For our members. You can do yoga, different aquatics recreational programs, but one of my favorites is pickleball. And we get a lot of turnout, and probably about 15 to 20 members come every Wednesday from like 5 to 7:30, and then we have it during the day. But pickleball is getting pretty big in America.
It is.
Yeah.
I saw people, we passed a court yesterday, and I mean, I think that there were 8 individual pickleball courts within that one.
Were you at City Walk?
They were full. No. This was about an hour outside of. It was definitely not in Birmingham where I was, but I saw it was loaded with people of all ages out there too. It was like, I know I saw some teenagers, and then I saw some 60-somethings, some 70-somethings. Like it was awesome to see.
Yeah.
You know, that's an interesting thing about that sport is it started out for perhaps seniors, to keep them active and build up strength and mobility and stuff, and then it's caught on, and now everybody plays it except me apparently. But
I haven't played it
think
either.
we'll work
Yeah,
on
get
that
out there.
at
Don't
some
feel
point.
bad. Look, I mean, the moment I said it, Sav went, ooh, and like she is loving some pickleball.
When she
it's
jumped,
a-
I thought she saw that lizard again.
We'll get the lizard on the courts too. Anyone can play pickleball.
That's hilarious.
Anybody can play.
Just got to get the right size paddle,
Yeah.
Maybe find a ping pong paddle for that one instead. Now, another cool thing that you guys were telling me about off the air is that Lakeshore is really at the forefront of helping to develop things for, again, all walks of life. And I thought this was really cool how they worked hand in hand with Apple.
Right, when Apple was working on the Apple Watch and developing it and trying to perfect it, how it tracks all your health data and stuff like that, they worked directly with Lakeshore to make sure it works to count for people who use wheelchairs and the pushes, so that it doesn't just count steps or just count miles. It counts actual, just the same way. But they want to make sure it works for people with disabilities the same way. And so it's kind of on the forefront, working with data and keeping up with things like that.
That's so cool. Lakeshore seems to always be working ahead to make sure that they're taking the most care of their athletes, and not just helping people in Birmingham, obviously, but all over the world. Lakeshore's really kind of become a foundation for everybody, helping with disabilities and things of that nature. So it's really cool what's going on over there, and it's right here in the heart of Alabama. You can't beat that. Lakeshore.org. Lakeshore.org is the website. If you want to learn more, if this is your first time hearing about the Lakeshore Foundation, or maybe you've heard the name, you've never really known what they do, it really, really is incredible, all the stuff. And I'm still learning about it too. So, I mean, I've absolutely loved this. But as we wrap it up, I want to make sure that we highlight anything else that you guys think that we need to touch on. Now, if you see the cool videos on the website, you can thank Sav for all that, okay? She's killing it. And she's done a lot of cool stuff with ESPN and things like that as well. But Sav, any final words, thoughts, anything we need to put out there?
I think just check out lakeshore.org. Come by the facility. Great facility. Lots to do. Lots of ways to get connected. The whole 9.
There you go. Very cool. Terry, what about for you, man?
Yeah, do the same. Come by and visit. We can give you a tour of the facilities and show you around, and just you're welcome to come learn a little bit more about what we do and what we do have right here in Birmingham that's touching the world.
You can learn hand in hand with Terry as he's learning about
as I figure that out, put some more things on my list here.
I love it. Awesome job, you two. And once again, Terry knows this already, but once a month, the doors are open for you guys to come and share and talk about all the new things going on with the Lakeshore Foundation. So again, lakeshore.org is the website. Get on there, check it out, support what they got going on, and do not miss the Celebration of Champions coming up on July the 26th as well. All right, the 9 o'clock hour is upon us. Again, song requests, prayer requests, praise reports, and all of that. Hit me up now, 805 to text us. It's the Morning Overload, Revocation Radio.